The screen opens on Buckingham Palace's courtyard, a storied expanse shimmering under a light April drizzle, where the historic stonework glistens with a soft, silvered sheen. Its cream-colored arches and columns standing as guardians of centuries past. Vibrant gardens bloom in defiant bursts of crimson tulips and golden daffodils, their petals sparkling with raindrops, framing the scene with a quiet majesty. The royal guard stands in formation, their scarlet tunics blazing through the mist, bearskin hats towering, a living embodiment of duty that commands the courtyard's reverence. Tourists cluster under colorful umbrellas, their cameras flashing like fireflies, capturing the proud flutter of the Union Jack atop the palace, its colors bold against the gray, drizzle-soaked sky. The air hums with the scent of wet cobblestones, blooming flowers, and the faint warmth of scones from a vendor's cart, blending with the soft murmur of voices and the distant toll of Westminster's bells. The rhythmic clack of boots echoes as the guards hold their posts, their discipline a heartbeat that binds the scene, grounding it in the weight of tradition. In this rain-kissed arena, where history meets the pulse of the present, Congressman will demand a salute from a royal guard, believing her silence is submission only to be shocked by her disciplined stand. A moment that will spark awe, respect, and a question that lingers long after the drizzle fades. If you admire quiet strength, hit subscribe to join our community and catch more soul-stirring stories every day. As the rain falls, one question reverberates across the courtyard. What does it mean to defend honor when arrogance demands obedience? Corporal Laura Bennett stands at attention near the palace entrance, her scarlet tunic vivid against the glistening stonework, her bearskin hat steady, its black fur speckled with tiny raindrops, her blue eyes fixed forward in a disciplined stare that exudes unwavering duty. At 29, Laura is a veteran of Afghanistan and joint NATO missions in Estonia, her lean frame a testament to relentless training, her stillness a mask for a resolve forged in the crucible of conflict, where her quick thinking during a Kabul convoy ambush saved her unit, earning her a military cross. Her face, framed by the bearskin shadow, is a study in calm determination. But her blue eyes miss nothing, cataloging the crowd's movements, the motorcade's approach, the subtle shifts in the morning's rhythm. A flashback transports us to a Kabul street, where Laura, her uniform streaked with dust, spots an IED's faint outline, her shouted warning halting the convoy, her blue eyes steady as she guides her team to safety, her courage a beacon in the chaos. Now, as a Queen's Guard, her duty is to embody the crown's honor, to stand as a symbol of unbroken tradition, her rifle at her shoulder, her posture rigid, her heart tethered to the silence of her post. But her instincts remain razor-sharp, ready to respond to the unexpected in this drizzle-soaked courtyard. The courtyard pulses with subdued energy tourists adjusting raincoats, their cameras snapping through the drizzle, children clutching miniature Union Jacks, their giggles softened by the damp air. A vendor calls out offers of hot chocolate, his cart a warm beacon in the mist, while a guide recounts the palace's history, her voice clear despite the rain, weaving tales of monarchs and ceremonies. An elderly couple shares a damp guidebook, their faces lit with pride, while a young family, their toddler bundled in a yellow raincoat, snaps photos against the garden's vibrant blooms. The Union Jack flutters above, its colors a stark contrast to the gray sky. The guards' scarlet tunics a vivid tableau of tradition, their silence a powerful presence amidst the courtyard's quiet hum. A sleek black motorcade glides through the gates, its tires hissing on the wet cobblestones, drawing the crowd's attention, their murmurs rising as a diplomatic visit unfolds. Congressman Michael Reed, 47, steps out, adjusting his navy suit and American flag pin, his brown eyes scanning the scene with faint disdain, his posture stiff with self-assured authority. A seasoned politician with a reputation for bold rhetoric. Reed's muttered words to his aide. All this pomp for a meeting reveal a dismissive edge, his voice low but audible, his skepticism a spark that ignites the coming conflict. The conflict ignites as Laura remains motionless, her blue eyes fixed ahead. Adhering to the strict protocol of the Queen's Guard, remain still. Respond only to direct threats to the ceremony or lives. Ignore distractions, no matter their source. Reed approaches, his polished loafers splashing softly on the cobblestones, his American flag pin glinting through the drizzle, his tone mocking as he stops before Laura, his brown eyes narrowing. Nice outfit. Corporal ever faced real combat, he taunts. His voice cutting through the courtyard's hush, his words a challenge to her silence. His assumption of her ceremonial role a barb that stings the air. Tourists murmur, their faces a mix of unease and curiosity. An elderly veteran in a wax jacket, his regimental cap tilted, frowns, muttering to his wife, he's out of line. While a teenage boy, his phone raised, shifts to record, whispering. Why is he messing with her? Reed circles Laura, his movements deliberate, his voice rising, challenging her silence with growing audacity. Salute me. Corporal, show some respect, he demands, his tone sharp, his expectation of deference a clash with the guard's protocol. The crowd tensing, their umbrellas tilting, their eyes locked on the standoff, sensing a brewing storm in the drizzly courtyard. Laura's heart steadies, her thoughts on Afghanistan, on the ambushes that tested her, on the soldiers she led to safety, on the duty that binds her to this post, to the crown, to the honor of those who serve before her. Her blue eyes remain unflinching, her scarlet tunic vivid, her bearskin hat steady, her silence a shield against Reed's provocation, her restraint a testament to the training that makes her a soldier, not a prop. The crowd's murmurs grow a young mother, her toddler clinging to her leg, gasps. He's disrespecting her, her voice trembling with indignation, while a middle-aged woman, her camera damp, shakes her head, muttering. She doesn't owe him anything. The vendor, his cart silent, watches with narrowed eyes, his hands pausing on his thermo, sensing the escalating tension. Palace security, their navy uniforms blending into the drizzle, edge closer, their radios crackling softly, their faces professional but alert, ready to intervene but trusting Laura's discipline to hold the line. Reed's presence, his flag pin a stark contrast to his arrogance. His brown eyes locked on Laura creates a palpable tension. The drizzly courtyard a stage for a clash of entitlement and honor. The tension escalates as Reed steps closer, his polished loafer brushing Laura's rifle. A deliberate breach of protocol that sends a ripple through the crowd. Their gasps sharp, their phones wobbling as they record, their faces shocked by the audacity. His smirk widen, his voice dripping with condescension. Just a prop. He taunts, his brown eyes gleaming. His challenge a test of Laura's resolve, his belief in his authority blinding him to her strength. The crowd's murmurs swell. An elderly man in a raincoat clutches his wife's arm, his voice trembling. He's crossed a line while the teenage boy, his video rolling, whispers. She's not budging. A retired officer, his regimental cap a splash of color, steps forward, his voice sharp, cutting through the drizzle. She's a soldier. Congressman, he shouts, his words a defense of Laura's honor, his presence a spark of support in the tense air. Reed persists, his arrogance peaking, his voice booming across the courtyard. Salute. Now, he demands, his hand hovering near Laura's rifle, his brown eyes flashing with expectation. His challenge a gauntlet thrown at her silence, the drizzle falling heavier, the courtyard a stage for a moment that balances on the edge of defiance and duty. The climax erupts as Laura's gloved hand moves with surgical precision, gently but firmly removing Reed's hand from her rifle. Her touch deliberate, her blue eyes hardening with controlled intensity, her voice firm but measured, cutting through the drizzle like a blade. "Sir, you violate protocol. My duty is to the crown," she says. Her words clear, resonant, a declaration of her resolve. Her stance unbroken, her scarlet tunic blazing, her bearskin hat steady. Reed stumbles back, his brown eyes wide with shock, his smirk vanishing, his face flushing with a mix of embarrassment and disbelief. His authority shattered by Laura's disciplined stand. The crowd whispers in awe, their faces alight with admiration, their phones capturing every second, their murmurs rising. She shut him down. What a soldier they respect. A tide that washes over the courtyard. Palace security steps in, their navy uniforms a swift presence, their hands guiding Reed back. His aide, a young staffer, pulling him toward the motorcade, his voice low, urgent. "Sir, we need to move." Reed, his flag pin dulled by the drizzle, his head bowed, follows, his arrogance subdued, his challenge met with a lesson in honor that leaves him silent. The crowd erupts in quiet cheers, their applause soft but growing, a symphony of respect for Laura's restraint, for the guard who stood silent against arrogance, for the honor that prevailed through discipline. The elderly veteran, his regimental cap steady, nods, his eyes warm with pride, his voice low. "That's the Queen's Guard," he says, his wife clapping softly, her tears glistening through the drizzle. The teenage boy, his video capturing the moment, cheers. His friend shouting, "She's a boss." The young mother, her toddler now smiling, wipes her eyes, her voice soft. "She showed him," she says. Her husband nodding, their faces lit with pride. The retired officer, his voice hoarse from shouting, approaches the barrier, his hand raised in a salute to Laura, his respect a silent bond between veterans, his presence a testament to her service. The vendor, his cart now bustling, offers free hot chocolate to the crowd, his smile wide, his voice warm. For the guard who stood tall, the drizzle lightens, the Union Jack flutters, the courtyard settles, the moment a beacon of honor in the April light. The resolution unfolds as Laura returns to her post, her rifle snapping back to her shoulder, her scarlet tunic vivid, her bearskin hat steady, her face calm, as if the confrontation never occurred. The ceremony continuing, the guard's formation unbroken, the Union Jack proud above, tradition enduring in the face of disruption. The drizzle fades, the sun breaking through, casting silver beams across the courtyard, the bells chiming softly. The crowd's applause fading into a respectful murmur, their faces a tapestry of awe and gratitude. The motorcade departs, its tires hissing on the wet cobblestones. Some officers in the delegation nodding respectfully to Laura, their faces softened, their eyes acknowledging her strength. Reed subdued in the rear, his brown eyes averted, his lesson learned in the silence of a guard stand. The elderly couple, their guidebook now tucked away, share a nod, their pride in the guard a quiet bond, their visit now marked by a story of honor they'll carry home. The young family, their toddler waving a flag, clap softly, the parents whispering lessons of courage to their wide-eyed child. Their respect for the guards deepened, In the barracks that evening, Laura removes her scarlet tunic, the weight of the day settling into her frame, her blue eyes reflective as she polishes her rifle. The ritual a meditation on the moment she stood firm. Her comrades, their banter usually lively, offer quiet respect, their voices low but warm. You gave that congressman a proper lesson. Bennett, says Private Evans, his own bearskin hat on the rack, his eyes meeting Laura's with admiration. Laura nods, her voice steady. It's not about him, it's about the crown, she says. Her thoughts on Afghanistan, on the unit she saved, on the duty that demanded she uphold honor, not just for herself, but for the regiment, for the crowd, for the tradition she carries. The sergeant major, his gold braid catching the barracks light, pauses at the door, his face stern but proud. You held the line. Bennett, he says. His words a rare commendation. His nod a seal of approval that carries the weight of the regiment. Days later, the story of Laura and Reed becomes a global sensation, shared across news outlets, social media, and whispered conversations. A viral video capturing the standoff. Laura's words, Reed's retreat, the crowd's awe a symphony of honor. Headlines hail the God who stood silent, framing Laura's act as a lesson in resolve. A reminder that silence defends honor, that tradition endures against arrogance. News anchors recount the story with reverence, their voices thick with admiration, while online forums buzz with praise for the God who stood her ground, for the tradition that held firm, for the justice that prevailed in a single moment. The video, shared millions of times, shows Laura's scarlet tunic blazing through the drizzle, her gloved hand steady. Reads a stunned retreat a testament to the power of disciplined resolve. The crowd's faces a tapestry of awe and gratitude, a moment that unites viewers in admiration for a soldier who chose silence over submission. Reed, back in Washington, issues a public apology through a press conference. His once disdainful eyes softened by reflection, his political stature shaken by the humbling lesson of a God's resolve. His story a cautionary tale of arrogance undone by quiet strength. The elderly veteran, back in his Norfolk village, shares the story at his local veterans club, his regimental cap a splash of color, his voice firm with pride for the God who upheld the regiment's honor, his friend nodding. Their respect a quiet tribute. The teenage boy, his video a viral phenomenon, starts a blog on military traditions. His words inspired by Laura's courage. His platform a light for others to learn about duty. The young family, their holiday transformed, visit the palace again, their toddler waving a flag at Laura's post, their smiles a thank you that crosses the barrier, their respect a bond with the God who stood firm. At a private ceremony in Buckingham Palace's ballroom, Laura stands before Colonel Sir Thomas Reed, her scarlet tunic gleaming under crystal chandeliers, the air rich with the scent of polished oak and fresh lilies. Reed, his face stern but warm, his grey hair catching the light, pins the Queen's Guard Medal for exemplary conduct to Laura's chest, a rare honor for acts that uphold the Crown's values in extraordinary ways. You honor the Crown with your silence, Corporal, Reed says, his voice resonant, his eyes meeting Laura's with pride. Your resolve was our strength, your defiance, our justice. The King sends his gratitude. Laura's blue eyes glisten, her thoughts on Afghanistan, on the unit she saved, on the duty that defines her. Her salute steady, her heart full. The weight of the medal a reminder of the moment she stood silent, of the honor she defended. The aftermath ripples through the lives touched by that April morning. The elderly veteran, his story now a local legend, inspires his grandson to join the Army cadets. His regimental cap a beacon for the next generation. His pride in Laura a quiet tribute. The teenage boy, his blog gaining traction, visits the regiment's open day, his camera capturing the guards' drills, his words shaped by Laura's silence, his platform a call to honor. The young family, their holiday now a cherished memory, write a letter to the regiment, their toddler's flag a keepsake, their gratitude a bridge to the guards who protect. Laura, back at her modest London flat, shares the story with her sister, Emma, a teacher. Their cozy home filled with family photos and the scent of fresh bread. Emma's hand resting on hers, her voice soft. You showed him what strength is, she says. Her pride in Laura a quiet anchor, her smile a reminder of why she stands. Laura returns to her post the following week. The April drizzle now cleared, the courtyard alive with new tourists, their cameras flashing, their voices a familiar hum. Her scarlet tunic glows, her bearskin hat steady, her rifle a vow to protect. Its weight a reminder of the duty she carries. The crowd, unaware of the drama, snaps photos. But the vendor, his cart adorned with a small Union Jack, nods to Laura. His smile a quiet acknowledgement of the hero beneath the uniform. Palace staff, passing by, offer subtle nods, their respect unspoken but profound. Their pride in Laura a shared secret among those who serve the crown. In her quiet moments, Laura thinks of Reed's retreat, of the veteran's salute, of the vow she made in Afghanistan to stand firm for those who depend on her, of the lesson that silence defends honor, that tradition endures against arrogance. The Buckingham Palace courtyard, with its glistening stonework and vibrant gardens, stands as it always has, a witness to countless moments of courage, its honor defended by a God who stood silent against arrogance, who met a challenge without breaking protocol, who showed that strength lies not in submission, but in resolve. The story of that drizzly April morning is a parable of resilience, a testament to the power of a single moment to uphold justice, to remind us that silence defends honor, that tradition endures, that a guard's resolve can echo louder than a congressman's demands, uniting us in the belief that strength lies in standing firm. Corporal Laura Bennett, with her soldier's instincts and disciplined heart, proved that resolve can defeat arrogance, that a guard's silence can speak louder than mockery, that a moment of honor can redefine strength for us all. Silence defends honor, tradition, endures. What does resolve mean to you? Have you ever faced a moment where you had to stand firm against pressure, where your silence spoke louder than words, where your strength defined your honor? Share your story in the comments below. Tell us about the moments that tested your resolve, the choices that shaped your strength, the lessons that linger like a guard's steady gaze. If you're inspired by stories like Laura Bennett's stories of restraint, resilience, and the courage to defend honor through silence, hit that like button, subscribe, and ring the bell. Join our community for more tales that uplift, that challenge, that remind us of the strength within us all, every single day.